Good morning and welcome to today's webinar on how you can create a seamless customer onboarding journey by automating your KYC and KYB checks with DueDil and Callcredit. To set the stage, today's webinar will be approximately 30 minutes long with enough time for Q&A at the end. As well, a recording of the webinar will be provided and sent out post-event. Today's agenda includes an introduction. Your host for today will be myself, Ryan Baldeo, Head of Product Marketing at DueDil, alongside with Josh Gunnell, Pre-Sales Consultant at Callcredit Information Group. We're also joined by Kalina Moulton, Senior Campaigns Marketing Manager at DueDil, as well as Rob Wellborn, Marketing Executive at Callcredit, who will be looking out for your questions throughout the webinar. So please feel free to ask away during the session, and we'll get to them at the end of our webinar. We will be covering the customer onboarding journey, how it used to be, the pains felt by both customers and businesses due to a long, drawn-out onboarding process, automating your Know Your Business checks, how DueDil onboards new businesses and the benefits to this process, automating your Know Your Customer checks, how Callcredit onboards new clients within those businesses and the benefits to this process, the DueDil and Callcredit joint proposition, how this new joint offering expedites this process and makes life easier for all involved. We also have an example case study about how a large high street commercial bank has onboarded their customers using this joint process with fantastic results. We'll end this off with a Q&A section, so have those questions ready. There are many challenges facing both customers and teams in the way companies are conducting their onboarding process. From a customer experience perspective, there are often long and tedious onboarding times waiting for endless approvals. There's also manual and time-consuming processes of gathering the right and relevant documentation you need. Also, some of the necessary information you need may be missing, or you may not even know where to get that information. From a team perspective, there are manual and repetitive daily data entry tasks that can be endless and tiresome. Often, there are multiple data sources that one needs to validate that may be inaccurate and inconsistent data. And lastly, and let's be totally honest here, there are inefficient and time-consuming processes that we really could do without. It's time to introduce you to the DueDil API. For those who aren't aware of DueDil, DueDil is the richest source of private company information with in-depth data on over 40 million companies to help businesses find opportunities and evaluate risks. The DueDil API allows businesses to automate many of their internal processes by providing companies with fast, easy, programmatic access to DueDil's rich and comprehensive company data. From boosting form completion rates through automating anti-money laundering and enhanced due diligence checks to streamlining the credit decisioning process, the DueDil API is a dependable and clear way to increase the performance and efficiency of your business. Here we show you how businesses today use the DueDil API. Through automating compliance onboarding, expedite compliant onboarding of new business customers, and conduct KYC, AML, and sanctions assessment with little human interaction. Through customer and supplier onboarding, streamline and automate the credit decisioning process and allow businesses to assess the risk with potential new customer and suppliers automatically. Auto-populate forms during the sign-up process. Significantly improve form completion rates, ensuring data entered is accurate and consistent, and delighting customers with a great customer experience, not having to manually enter their information. CRM integration. Append, cleanse, and remove duplicates automatically directly from your CRM so that your marketing and sales teams are working with the most accurate data, allowing businesses to have a real-time view of their prospects and customers. Automate your KYB and AML checks easily with the DueDil API. DueDil has hundreds of data endpoints. However, some of the most popular ones include company number and name, registered address, company status, commercial PEPs and sanction screening, including adverse media, counted charges like county court judgments, FCA authorization status, annual returns, financial records, shares, and shareholder details.
Callcredit are an information business. We deliver services that empower information into meaningful insights with unrivaled flexibility. The automation of KYC checks has been a specialism of Callcredit for many years, and our services are widely used across financial services markets to support onboarding of new customers whilst qualifying and mitigating potential risks to their business. CallValidate is a market-leading solution enabling clients to meet the challenges around identity verification, regulatory pressures, and fraud prevention. It is a single service capable of delivering multiple modules in parallel, depending on the use case or customer interaction. Within this integration, we have enabled the ability for users to leverage our datasets to support Know Your Customer strategies by screening identity data against a robust and variety of data sources. This can then be coupled with step-up authentication, anti-impersonation checks, and wider fraud detection services, including the adoption of the latest innovative services we enable through this channel. The datasets available to support identity verification are multidimensional and utilize a combination of sophisticated matching techniques to deliver industry-leading performance. Users have full control over the parameters which are set for automated decisions to be invoked, and Callcredit are happy to prescribe settings which align to regulatory requirements or bespoke them as necessary depending on the end-user risk appetite and policies. Alongside a number of positive datasets, there are a number of regulatory and negative data sources which can be checked in parallel. This includes confidence metrics around length at address, potential links to different or riskier addresses, and date of birth confidence. The Identity Verification Suite allows for users to invoke the necessary depth of check as required by the nature of the transaction. From a light touch verification all the way up to AML strength checks, including up-to-date regulatory data sets such as international PEPs and sanctions data, supporting alignment to changes brought about through the invocation of the Fourth Money Laundering Directive. The service tiers deliver an overall result for the check, as well as a breakdown of the underlying characteristic data to support the decision, as well as a full audit vault for all submissions. Callcredit have consultancy resources available to ensure that the checks users perform are fit for purpose and deliver the utmost value they can. We are confident in the strength of our data, and we welcome the opportunity to partner with DueDil in creating a wider value proposition to the users of these services. The automation of formerly time-consuming and manual processes drove significant returns on investments for a retail bank onboarding business accounts customers. The ability to utilize a single service to understand the business and ultimately to verify and screen all pertinent parties meant operational handoffs and manual referrals are now a thing of the past. And what took days now only takes hours. This has improved and streamlined the customer's experience, delivered operational efficiencies which can now be reinvested elsewhere. We're sure this isn't an isolated use case, and they aren't the only ones who can benefit from our partnership. I'll hand you back to Ryan now, who will take you through how it works.
Introducing KYC for Business. KYC for Business is an enhanced verification tool from Callcredit and DueDil that provides two verification checks through one single access point that allows companies to streamline vital checks on companies and the key individuals who run them. This partnership allows us to perform KYC checks on individuals which are performed against all directors and beneficiaries associated with the business, as well as KYB checks that are performed against the business a client is transacting with. This results in four key features: streamline regulatory and compliance checks easily, access a full view and screening of individuals associated with any business, obtain a full and detailed view of the business and any associated companies. All of this is integrated through a single and RESTful API with minimal technical assistance required. So how does it work? A client conducts a simple business and individual search through a simple API form. Once submitted, The request is received by DueDil. The KYC check is provided by Callcredit and performs the identity verification services offered by CallValidate's AML modules on all directors and/or beneficial owners associated with the business, including fraud warnings and enhanced PEPs and sanction checks. This call is then returned back to DueDil, who then provides the KYB checks for that business and then sends it back to the client via the DueDil API. KYC for business checks are charged individually and billed to both Callcredit and DueDil for total checks used. There are 5 key benefits clients utilize with KYC for business. Meet regulatory requirements and determine whether companies are compliant and flag any for further investigation. Get a complete view of a business with industry-leading insights. Understand key individuals behind a business, including directors and beneficiaries. Receive faster onboarding from a single access point instead of relying on 2 separate vendors for data. And a simple integration through an easy-to-set-up API.